All right, so last time we met, we talked a lot about how you thrive with structure. You like plans, you like do this, do that, not this. So I'd love to hear in terms of eating out, meal planning, prepping, all of those things that are part of being successful. I want to hear your experience since the first time that we met.
Okay, so a lot's happened. I know it's only been a few weeks, but a lot has happened because I think that for me, flipping the mindset to like instead of like structurally like planning everything out to like how can I make this a lifestyle. So so that was a big shift, and I was like, okay, I know that I'm good when I plan everything out to the T, but when I don't do that, I know that I fall off the bandwagon. So the shift has been, how do we kind of merge the two so that it becomes your lifestyle? And you don't have, if I don't have a chance to plan something, how can I still stay on track?
How can you adapt and be flexible? I love talking about things as a lifestyle because it seems so cliche to be like, oh, make it a healthy lifestyle. But when you really think about it in those terms, it becomes more manageable.
One thing that I changed that's very different is I have a snack cabinet at work.
Okay.
So I like, and it's typically not what I do. Usually I would, like in the past, I would bring, okay, this is what I'm eating for the day. Like I have my meal, I have the snack, all of that. And while that worked, sometimes I didn't want the snack that I brought, or sometimes people wanted to order out, or sometimes I didn't want the lunch that I brought, so I would keep pushing it back. So now it's nice because I went and I looked at the sheet that you gave me and I bought a bunch of different things that I knew that I wanted and that I knew that I would eat.
So it's working for you to plan the snacks, have them there, good to go. What about with meals? Talk me through your meal planning and prepping routine for breakfast, lunch, and or dinner.
I told you before I was doing breakfast sandwiches a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I recently switched because I found that I was getting hungry like early on. Like I wanted a morning snack before my lunch. So I shifted and I started eating oatmeal with fruit in the morning as like my carb, and then with like eggs and veggies like mixed, like a mixed scramble.
I'm noticing that you like structure, but you know that you have to rotate things in and out. You're not the kind of gal who can eat the same thing every single week over and over and over again. You have to integrate some variety. That's going to be key for you for long-term lifestyle, healthy lifestyle. You're the kind of person whose healthy lifestyle needs flexibility and structure, and you need variety to stay on track for the long haul. Then pre-identifying with that is just going to make that part of your meal planning process, and you'll be able to just know that, hey, you know what? I get burnt out on healthy breakfasts after 3 days. I need a second option that's going to be there Thursday or Friday. What happens when you bring your lunch? What kinds of stuff are you bringing, and how is that whole process going?
Yeah, so usually it's a leftover from dinner the night before, or at least like the protein from the night before.
Okay, gotcha.
Lunch will typically be some sort of carb. Like I'll have like, I told you I'm a sucker for bowls as well. So I'll have some sort of like a Greek bowl or a rice bowl of some sort. So it's typically rice, a veggie, and then a protein. And my proteins have pretty much been sticking to chicken and salmon. Like those are really my two go-tos. So that is, depending on what we had the night before. And then at work, we're having a challenge, and it's like a meatless challenge, so you can't eat like meat on certain days, but like fish counts. So like I'll have like my fish days where I can only have that for dinner and lunch. So yeah, it's pretty routine and basic. Sometimes we'll have like a potato of some sort in there, like a mashed potatoes or like chopped roasted potatoes or something, but it's very routine, I would say.
Do you feel restricted?
No, only in the sense that I can't always order out.
Okay.
that's my restriction, because that would be,
Yeah.
that would be my comfort food. That would be what I'd want to do.
Yeah.
But no, in terms of what we're eating, no, I don't really feel too restricted.
Talk me through what goes through your mind when someone does say, hey, you know what, we're ordering food, what do you want? How do you talk to yourself in times when you decide to order out instead of eating what you bring?
So what goes through my mind? Well, if it's not something that I'm interested in, then it's like, oh, I brought my food. Yeah,
not a problem.
Whatever. If it's something that I'm interested in, I have to go through this like series of like, how worth it is it?
So you go through this process and you know, okay, this weekend I'm eating out twice, and your goals were to cut back on eating out.
Yeah.
I believe it was twice, yes?
Yeah, well,
Once.
I thought I was eating out. Remember, I thought that I was only eating out twice a week. But then after I went through a week and I realized how many times I said no,
Yeah.
I was like, I used to say yes all these times. I was eating out like 4 or 5 times a week.
So talk me through your process on how you plan meals for the week.
Okay. So Sundays got to be like meal prep day for doing like a full on, like let's prep for the whole week.
Let's say that you don't plan or prep this week. How would Monday go?
Well,
Probably not good.
probably not good. Yeah.
Probably not good.
Well, for lunch, no, because
No.
I don't have any leftovers.
No, exactly.
Sunday,
And then
yeah.
you'd have to use one of your days eating out. I think sometimes we forget how even the seemingly mundane day-to-day choices and the meals that we choose and the lunches that we eat and whether or not we get Starbucks every single day or whatever it might be, those things add up and we become a product of all of those seemingly day-to-day mundane meals that we eat.
Right.
And so if we zoom out on your week and we look at the big picture, it is critical to be planned and prepped and ready to go so that you can execute and there is no option B of eating out. And not making excuses for planning is going to be a critical part for your healthy lifestyle. That's what I'm picking up.
yeah.
So when you are planning your week, are you putting in a time block already for meal planning?
No. not currently,
Oh,
no.
girl. So how do you feel about doing that? I mean, you know that's a system that works for you.
Yeah, so I don't typically time block on the weekends.
Ah, okay.
Typically Monday through Friday, because that's when I'm like, go. Where the weekends are more lax.
Yeah,
it's
you're
more like I have
typing.
extra time. Right.
When we talk about planning and we want it to be consistent, the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to find a time in the day that we can consistently rely on so we don't have to consciously keep thinking like, oh, what's this Sunday look like? Where can I time block my period for meal planning? So do you have any kind of routines on Sunday already that you could stack this meal planning project in on?
Yes. So Sundays are my mornings.
Okay.
I get up with my daughter. So I'm up earlier, which I'm typically more productive on Sundays. I know every Sunday at 3 I have a call that I have to go to. So if following that, I know that I grocery shop immediately after, and then I meal prep immediately when we get home. That we can go that way. Because if grocery shopping doesn't happen on Sunday, then it happens on Monday. Then it's Monday night, and we're scrambling, and our meals aren't as good. So you don't really want to eat them as much.
I love that you've already identified a time on Sundays that are consistent. You have team meetings, 3 p.m. Go back to telling me about your planning process. Walk me
Yes.
through exactly how you plan for your meals.
Okay, so I am a Pinterest girl.
Okay.
So I go to Pinterest for inspiration. So
Okay.
I'll, whatever it is. If I'm like tired of like the Greek bowls, I might be like healthy Greek recipe, and then maybe I'll find like a wrap or some sort of like I recently found like this edamame Greek-ish like vegetable salad that was really good. So I find different recipes, but sometimes it is as structured as like let's write down all the ingredients, but that doesn't always happen.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, all right, I know our meals, I know what we need, like let's get in here, I'll get all this stuff and get out.
So you're that lucky kind of person that can store it all in your head. You're not someone who needs to write everything down. I ask because sometimes I have people who really struggle with this and they might know what they want to make, but they don't pick up everything that they need because they don't have a list. They miss key ingredients and they'll use that as a subconscious excuse not to eat what they were going to do. I've got a guide that is extremely structured that you can start to integrate when you are meal planning on Sundays.
Ooh.
It's 5 steps. It's definitely for people who like structure, who are very type A. Yes, and you're gonna love this, okay? So it's 5 steps and it's on my blog. So the first thing to do is plan the meal and schedule them pen to paper on a calendar. The second step is to make your list. Okay? I always recommend people do step 3, which is a kitchen audit. So you made your list, you go through your kitchen audit to see what you've already got, and then you go back on your list and you polish that baby up. And then when you're actually in the store, check things off as soon as they go into your cart. When you think about your meal planning process, is there anything that you really struggle with?
Variety. Just
Variety.
finding different things. So like I know my go-tos, but when I go on Pinterest, it's because I'm looking for something different. Like I know my go-tos. I know how to make my go-tos. I'm comfortable with my go-tos. But sometimes when you've been eating healthy for so long, you just want something different. So that's why I go in there for inspiration. I don't particularly love cooking, so I want to make it fun. So if I can get my daughter involved, if I can make it a family thing, so like let's make pizzas, let's make zucchini tacos, whatever, and it becomes something fun, then I actually want to do it. I'm a theme girl, so like Valentine's Day is coming up, so I want to find like different foods that we can do, like heart shape, or make like Valentine's-y, I guess. So just looking up different things like that so I can make it fun. So I want to do it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So you told me that you struggle with variety, but it doesn't sound like you do. Because you're looking for stuff.
I do when I don't take time to look for it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
So do you ever feel like the lack of variety could be something that keeps you from sticking to this for the long haul if you keep getting into these ruts?
Oh, yes.
Yep. Got it.
Then I want to eat out.
Yeah, because then you want to eat out.
If we're actually staying home and cooking, it's easier to stay healthy.
Gotcha.
It's
Yep.
I don't want to cook. We don't have anything that I want to eat. Nothing's ready. I'd rather just order out so we can, finish like watching this movie or making this craft or, whatever it is that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's convenience.
Back to that whole breakfast thing that we were talking about. Variety is going to be key for you. Part of this planning process has to consistently be you asking yourself, am I actually going to want to eat these things? Are these things I'm going to enjoy? Mm-hmm. Did I eat this last week? Am I just buying the same thing over and over again to save time in my planning process?
Right.
And really being honest with yourself and expanding what you're eating. Using those lists I gave you, using different recipe blogs, trying to expand your horizons and looking for things that are going to excite you. The new plan is Sundays. That's going to be the day you optimally are able to meal plan. You're going to do it around that scheduled time that you've already got, that 3 p.m. call. You already know that that's when your routine starts. Mm-hmm. You're going to think ahead and say, all right, hey, if I can't plan on Sunday because it's a Super Bowl or there's something going on, Saturday is the next best thing, and there's no excuses.
Well, and you had me started writing it down. So
Yeah.
when I started writing it down, it holds you more accountable.
Yeah.
Because then you have, like, this is what I'm eating today and, all of that. So that helped a lot, too.
Yes.
And I think that us just even initially meeting and me, like, really seeing how much it was that I was eating out or, how often it was that I would just grab, like, a snack or, like, a chocolate or, like, a whatever. I wasn't aware of that until I started really tracking things.
Where do you write it down?
So, for my birthday, one of my friends knew that I was doing this. So she got me a fitness journal tracker.
Love
I
it.
was just like doing it in like a regular notebook, whatever. But it's good because I can track my fitness, I can
Love it.
track my meals, I can track my water. There's like a sleep thing in there, which I'm a
Okay.
sleeper. I have no problem with that. But so it's nice.
So just to kind of summarize as we wrap up today, I think you're doing a great job, and I'm really proud of the way that you called yourself out and you were really honest with yourself. I mean, that is probably the most underrated piece of healthy lifestyle advice that anybody could get. It's be honest with where you can improve, and I think you're doing a great job of that.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are there any things going through your brain that make you feel like this may not work for you?
No, because it comes down to me making it work.
Yeah.
It comes down to choice.
Yes.
Like, that's what it comes down to. You have to make the choice to want to do it. So
Yes.
when you called me out and I said, okay, that means that I should do it.
I'm excited for you. Are you feeling motivated?
Yeah, if I feel like I need to write down my meals so I can go to the grocery store on the way home.
No, you don't feel like you're going to do it. You are going to do it.
Yeah.
I think you're doing great, Rachel.
Oh, thanks.
Any other
Thanks. That means a lot.
questions?
No, I think that every time I come, I have like next steps, which is nice, but it's like, this is exactly what I'm going to do and what I need to do.
Yep.
So, it's...
What you're going to do? I love it. See, you're already changing your language, girlfriend. That's what I want to hear.
And I'm going to think of you. I feel like I'm going to think of you every time that I say, well, we need to, or we should. I'm going to think of
no.
Kate saying, like, no, you're going to. Like, this is not a choice. So I think it's been good. And I think just the whole process has helped me be more aware of things that I didn't think were a problem, that I said that to myself, I'm like, whoa, like this is actually what's happening.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have ever really thought to reflect because I thought I was doing things that I, in reality, really wasn't doing. So, yeah.
I love that point. And we'll end on that is kind of thinking there is no shame in being aware of what we actually are doing and just kind of recognizing like, hey, you know what, this is my reality. And the only way to change my life and to change the outcome is to change my current reality.
Right.
And you gotta look yourself in the mirror sometimes. You gotta just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I am eating out more than I thought I was. And that's okay. I can just decide from here on out that that's no longer my reality.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick to my goals, I'm gonna do it, and let's go.
Give myself some tough love.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Rachel, this
right,
is great. I'm
thanks.
excited.
Yeah, for
excited
sure.
to see what you plan.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Cool.